Okay, so I was freaking out there for a second because I couldn't find my project. And when I get zoomed in a little closer here, you'll understand why I was freaking out. Because it wasn't just three XML files, it is an entire, my, like, 75% of my entire computer is based on this file right here that spans out all the way over here. It's kind of, if I shrink it, then you won't really get the full perspective. So I'll try to shrink it a little bit to get, but when you reduce it like that, God, this camera is so horrible. Okay, that's better. Yeah, that was ridiculous. I can't do that. So you see, you stretch it out, right? So on the left, here's all my here it's just like Android Studio, kind of. So what we were looking at, I think it was just an editor, an IDE. I think it's called an IDE or SDK of the IntelliJ platform, JetBrains, which make part of Android Studio. I think that's how it works. I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that the stuff is dope. And the more that I learn about it, the more I'm like fall in love with the knowledge, because it does stuff that, only you couldn't imagine, plus more. So there's like the project file, right? And then here's the virtual machines. When I open that, so those are all of my virtual machines, right? When you open all those, it has every single component from the day that I made the machine, which I always try to look at the settings file and the hardening logs, but you don't really pay attention when you're like working on at those logs. You just know they're there. But here you can really study them and know what's going on with your machine. So for example, this hard drive just disappeared a second ago. How can I do this? My hand's shaking so bad. So this hard drive, which consists of a log, look at how many logs it has. Let me close that to start fresh. So these are all the logs I was just talking about that refers to the actual machine. And then it consists of the NVRAM, the VirtualBox hard disk. The VBox file is like a preference file, and then the VBox prev file is like a preview file. It's like a preview with some memory and some stats. And then the VDI is the actual virtual disk image that I created for the machine in the form of a disk image, not a VDMK or a VHD. And then this is the Windows, I think it's called parallelization or paravirtualization, or part of the virtual technology part. I don't know what I'm saying exactly, but so I lost just a minute ago when I even came into this project. No, when I touched those idea files, I lost this machine right here. The hard drive fell off, and then this one down here. So like my good ones, my ones that are working, that are like working good, and the one that I have Xcode installed on and is working and I can download, and I'm the administrator, and there's no funky stuff, there's no guest accounts, there's no one switching my settings. I can get into root access, I can change, copy, paste, do whatever I want, upload different OSs. When you start using other people's VMDKs, they try to control what you can do through the boot order, and then the instructions and all that stuff. So this machine right here is the one that I have, which actually is the lightest and was the biggest before all of these, but because it's gotten refined with time, it's down to just one VMDK. It used to be like a combination of 3 hard drives, a couple of disk images, and then it's like these machines start to grow within themselves. They shrink, they expand, they transform. It's just crazy. So that's that. So that is the file I was looking for. And how did I find it? What I recollected was what we were looking at was a folder called .ide, right? Which is, I guess it starts with an idea. I guess it's the concept. It's what this whole, maybe the JetBrains is based on, the idea. And then there's a module, a virtual machine, and then there's a workspace. So it's very simply structured. And then over here, remember when we flip it, when you slide the window back like that? It's really interesting to see how that works. When you just get rid of all the data and you just put them by each other, how they interact with each other. So they change. They acquiesce to each other. So that's just very interesting. So I just thought I'd share that with you. And this project is a great way to organize your virtual machines, artwork, graphics, programming, whatever you do, bank statements, crafts. I mean, I don't know what you guys do in life, but this program is amazing. Just like Android Studio is amazing, just like Visual Studio is amazing, just like Flutter is amazing, just like Java is amazing, just like Swift and Xcode. It just goes on and on and on. Oh my god, it's so overwhelming.